Hello ladies and gentlemen, teenagers. Now I wanted to share this video with you because unfortunately I was unable to make Arishima's fantastic event. And really just to share with you some strategies to help teenagers to build resilience towards some of the harmful stresses that we face or they face in their lives. So how many of you as parents are really finding it difficult or even worrying that your teenagers are experiencing stress in their life? How many of you as parents, through really worrying about your teenagers, are becoming really stressed out yourself? And how many of you as parents are requiring or needing strategies to help manage your teenager's stress? So in 2015, I set up Young Men's Group, which is it's a primary prevention education program aimed at equipping young men with the skills and strategies required to build resilience towards harmful external stressors. Now the program focuses on helping young people to develop social and emotional well-being. And we do that by working through group-focused sessions, and we tackle different themes each week. So we work on things from recognizing our emotional triggers. We also deliver a workshop which is called Removing the Mask, that helps young men to really take off that mask that's really hiding those harmful emotions that they're suppressing inside. We also look at developing and establishing healthy boundaries. And then we integrate a community service project which gives the young men an opportunity to utilize those positive life skills in order to inspire and help others. So I came across an article just recently, and it was in the Childhood Development Journal. And the interesting thing is it suggested that young people during a recent study were 11% more likely to go on and finish school, graduate from university, and were less likely to develop mental health issues or get arrested than those that didn't participate in group-focused sessions. Now I found this really interesting. So I really agree with this information, this particular research study, because after working with hundreds of young men across Sydney, with facilitating a number of these young men primary prevention education programs, I've seen the difference in how young men that are empowered with these particular skills and strategies really navigate those difficult, stressful situations in their lives. Now, at the end of this video, I will also share the story of Silapa. So Silapa was an 18-year-old young man that I met back in 2016. Silapa really stood out. He wasn't exactly a small individual. He was a big 6'5" Tongan young man who'd basically been suspended multiple times, and also as well he'd been expelled from school. So he was pretty much at the crossroads in his lives. The main issue that he had was his lack of self-control and his inability to be able to ask help when he needed it. So Silapa engaged in one of our programs, and at the end of this particular video, I will share with you Silapa's interview at the end of one of our programs, and I'll let him share his story. He's a really inspirational young man that's made a lot of positive change in his life. So after you've watched the video and you've listened to Silapa's story, what I'd like to do is to offer an opportunity to connect with me via email. So my email address is deanymg@gmail.com, or you can connect with me at Young Men's Group at facebook.com. And I'd love to hear from you in regards to, some of the issues that you and your teenagers are facing. And, I'd love to have a conversation about possibly working together, or if you want to find out more about the programs I run, that would be fantastic to hear from you. Now, before I leave and end this video, I want to share with you a strategy that we utilize with a number of our young men that can really start them towards developing those positive life skills for the future. So one of the strategies we use is called the ARC method. So it's an acronym ARC, A-R-C. So the A stands for awareness. So in order for a young man to gain awareness, what we utilize is a really simple check-in process. So during this check-in, what we do is we facilitate an opportunity for the young man to sit in silence and then to check in with, firstly, his physical body. So as he checks into his physical body, he does a body scan. So as he's going through his body scan, he's looking for telltale signs of stress. Things like tight elevated shoulders, tension in the back. He's looking for shallow, rapid breathing. Maybe an anxiety and a holding in the belly region. These telltale signs help him to develop awareness about the physical symptoms that are showing up in his body. Then we look at the mind. So specifically, we scan the mind for thoughts, particularly self-destructive and negative thoughts that are not serving the individual at this particular time. So there might be thoughts of overwhelm, or, I've just got too much going on. So after we've scanned the mind for thoughts, we then look at the emotions. So we actually teach young people an emotional vocabulary, which many young men and men in general don't tend to be able to connect with. It's something that, we're in our early conditioning, we're not taught to be able to recognize and express our emotions. So that's the awareness taken care of. We then move to the R, which is about responsibility. So the responsibility is really stopping, through that awareness, we can check what area is under stress. Might be all three areas, and then through that responsibility, we can make a choice of how we're going to respond. So that moves nicely onto the C, which is our choice. We can choose something from our skill toolbox to really help either disrupt the stressful patterns or the thinking patterns, or we can utilize a calming procedure for the mind or the body, a breathing sequence, to really help us to settle back in to that neutrality, where the likelihood is that we can make a choice which is going to help us to either reduce the stress or, as I said, disrupt the stress. Now, if you found this information really useful, as I said earlier, I'd really love to hear from you. So contact me at deanymg@gmail.com. Best of luck, and really looking forward to hearing from you.